Hi, everyone. This is Jacqui Cooper with CryptoMom2 Talk Show, and I want to thank everyone who's hopped on for this special episode. Definitely remember to like and subscribe so that way you can stay tuned for all the upcoming episodes and know when they drop. So for those that are new to CryptoMom2, I just want to quickly share a little bit about my background before I introduce my two special guests who have been on before. And I definitely want to share with everyone, if you haven't listened to our first episode, go back and enjoy because we talk about so much, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a deeper dive. But my background is I started my crypto journey a few years ago, and or I should say my journey into the blockchain, because it's a lot more than just cryptocurrency. I mean, the blockchain allows you to use the technology to create NFTs, which can then be used both in a visual side with music, utility, businesses are branding, they're incorporating products within. I mean, again, the concept of what can be done within an NFT is constantly emerging, and it's very exciting. Also, on the blockchain, you have, Bitcoin, you have Bitcoin mining, you have metaverses now. There's so much going on within the use of this technology, also called Web3. So, again, I'm constantly thinking about what these new places to go explore are. I have access to a lot of online tools. I'm a lawyer. I'm also an educator. I'm also a single mom. And as a result of all that, my primary purpose is always to provide you with education and information, so that way you can make the best decisions for you as you explore the blockchain. And with that, I also want to say that these shows are not financial advice. You have to invest at your own risk. With everything, whether it's in the physical world or the virtual world, there's always risk whenever you are involved with investments, and the blockchain can be volatile. So you just need to kind of educate yourself along the same lines that you do whenever you do make any other investments, but you also have to have fun with it. And that's what I love, is the creative side and the art side right now that we're going to be talking about. So I have two individuals who are on, and they have created a platform that kind of integrates Wallstreet and moms and dads. And it's a unique blend, because both of them have really diverse background, and they come together in a way that is making this whole area really fun. They've created a platform that provides education. It allows people to talk with each other and creates a community. So I really want to hop over to both of you guys today. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hey, Jackie. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and introduce both of yourselves, and because there might be new listeners to our show, and that way you can explain a little bit more about how you both met and what we're going to be talking about today.
Awesome. I'm Matt Shi. I'm one of the co-founders, along with Fu, for Wallstreet Fam, and have a long history of creative experience, starting out in advertising. I've been an art director, designer, artist, and creative director as well for over 20 years. So happy to dive in.
I'm a good friend of Matt for 10, 15 years now. I don't remember exactly, but we're and my background is in tech. I've been, in software management for a while, and diving into the metaverse. So that's the short of it. I mean, there's, if you want to dive into that, we can dive into it. But yeah, we're building a Wallstreet fam, wallstfam.com, and very excited to tell you about it.
So for everyone who's listening, I will definitely have the link in the blog below, so that way you can go onto the blog whenever you have a chance, and that way you can connect in and join and start exploring. So today we're going to be talking about the art side. Is that correct?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so where would you like us to start? I know that when I've explored the platform, I love the setup. I mean, every link has a new figure and it's all connected to the message of the link. So, I mean, I was blown away as I clicked in and saw the launch side and saw, so many different things. So you have the ability to share. So if you're on the audio side, definitely come on over to the YouTube side so you can see the screen and everything that we're talking about.
All right. Can you see our website?
Yeah, we see it. It says the perfect marriage of art. And for those that are on the audio side, we have a couple, and there's so much detail involved here, both in terms of what the hands and the arms are holding. And we have little babies. We have an animal, a puppy kind of poking their head out. Oh my gosh, there's another face that just popped in.
We have a lot of fun with the collection.
Yeah.
No, as you said, there's a lot of detail going on, and there's actually a lot of thought that kind of goes along behind the scenes as well to kind of create this. We started out first back in September, creating the Wallstreet Dad Collection. Fu and I are both dads. We both have 2 kids. And the way this idea kind of came about was that, we both found ourselves, wanting to create something in the metaverse, but also like we're kind of juggling our other, responsibilities, our family, our kids, and it's difficult, and I think that's sort of a kind of a universal truth, amongst all of us, it's just, we have a lot to do. And that became actually the basis of this NFT collection, and also reflects actually the duality between Fu and I as well, in terms of our founders and our skill sets and what we do. So it's actually kind of very symbolic on a lot of levels. But I'll just kind of walk through the main kind of concept behind this, actually, which not only is it a duality of art and tech, which is, Fu and I, but also there's a duality of the way that we kind of hold these responsibilities and our passions and, what we kind of seek in life, what we have, our responsibilities. There are all sorts of different things that, this collection kind of can express because of this duality of objects that we're holding in our hands. There's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of a story behind it, and kind of ways to kind of, identify with these characters that are basically, as unique as all of us are. We put a lot of thought into the range and diversity of all the elements that you won't see anywhere else. And, just kind of skipping through the slideshow, you can kind of get an idea of just the variety. And this is just like literally a tip of the iceberg, because we have 10,000 of these, and each one of them is unique as any other one. So it's really, and it's essentially, it's great. And I can't say enough about it. And I'm usually very, kind of a quiet artist, and I usually don't really talk too much about my work, but this one is very proud of. So the whole concept behind this is that being a parent, a Wallstreet parent, and actually any caregiver, you don't literally have to have a kid. You can have a dog. I mean, everyone is a caregiver. They can take care of their grandparents, but it's about balancing your work and your life and your ambitions and your passions and your family and your self-care and career without going insane. And I think
I want to stop you for a second. I want you to scroll back up for a quick second.
Sure.
Because what I was seeing there, for those that are on the audio side, yep, step right there. What I love about this visual is you see the plates, and they're spinning, and they represent, what we have to juggle in terms of our own personal life. And then what I love about it is they're sort of juggled onto a treasure chest that is wobbling. And all of us, when in our own personal life, we have our career path, we have our, passion projects, we have our family, whether it's your pet, your significant other, yourself, your kids. These are all parts. And as you said, we're juggling them. We're trying to make balance out of it. And at the same time, we're trying to have fun and enjoy the path that we're on. And that's why I love what you guys are doing, and the visual that is here. it just it makes so much sense, because if you take a look at this, when you cop over, you'll see the laundry basket, you'll see the groceries, these are all the things that you do in everyday life that you have to juggle. And so it's just, it's an amazing blend of a reality. And I
Sure.
think you've captured it all.
Hope so. And there's whimsy, there's fun in it too as well.
Yeah.
But we learned a lot from our community. From our dad launch. We have a very unique demographic, because there are actual couples in our community who actually enjoy the project together, and we've gotten lots of feedback on what they'd like to see in the mom collection coming up as well. So we've put a ton of time, a ton of effort into making sure that, and obviously we've been asking our wives, and our better halves as well. So we've gotten feedback from all over, to make sure that we've got a lot of coverage. So,
and what I also love is the fact that, again, that's notwithstanding, the women that you're showing are really strong figures, and they are showing a lot of various roles and models, and you can see that they're inspirational for a lot of the unique, they're shining their light, and I like that. They're taking a stand on who they are, and they're sharing it proudly, and so I like that.
Absolutely, yes. Full of strong women. You'll see that throughout the collection, we have various occupations. You'll see pilots, like you see here, but you'll see, surgeons, you'll see firefighters. It runs the gamut, and it's not sort of just, I don't know, like eye candy or whatever, some kind of stereotypical thing you might think other projects might do. So it's covering all that for sure. But yeah, so I'm going to skip down, because I think we'll go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we actually offer, again, that duality of art and tech, and Fu can definitely go through all of that, because we have a lot to offer as well. And I'll just kind of go through a little bit more of the art, and then we can kind of take it from there. Actually, here's a good example. Again, even in our launch, we have such a diversity of elements and stories that we're actually going to kind of focus them into 3 phases. So you'll see that there are different themes and a multitude of different elements and stories to be told throughout. Let me cut through here. Oh, I don't know if we can play video on this, but this is a great one. It's very inspirational, and it's almost basically a dedication to all moms. So I don't know if maybe viewers want to watch it later, but again, it's very heartfelt, and it's all.
You can definitely play it. Go ahead
Okay.
and go for it.
Right. Let's try.
It's great. It's great. It covers everything.
I mean, we really did want to, make this a dedication towards all moms, and so it's very special, and hopefully it kind of shines through in this as well. So yeah, that's sort of an overview of sort of the art. You'll see here's a little slideshow of where the dad collection was that we released before the year end, and we had a lot of fun with this as well.
Yeah.
I think so. There's a lot of diversity in here. So Fu, did you want to mention something?
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing more about like how you created the art. So some of the, just pointing out some of the kind of the techniques that is I would say innovative or has never been done
Absolutely,
with art,
absolutely.
which to an untrained eye would not be able to realize. But if you
Yep,
actually
yep.
understand some of the concepts, yeah.
So as you're talking about how you create, there's some terms that people might not know. So I just also want to ask you to define it for people. So we have the NFTs, the non-fungible token, but what does it mean to mint or free to mint? Can you explain a little bit more about how that works? Because that's a terminology that's people might not be familiar with.
I can take that one. So minting means essentially creating the NFT. So basically on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain, there is a smart contract, which is just a piece of code that will forever be there as long as Ethereum lives. And to mint means you call a function on that smart contract, and you pay a certain fee or not. And it will assign an NFT with an ID to your address, essentially creating the NFT and giving you, the minter, ownership of that NFT. And so that's what minting is.
So on your platform, when people join, do they create a wallet? How does that work? You know, for someone that's new to this, and then once they join it, and
Yes.
how do they create, or do they just buy the NFT? Explain a little bit more about if they wanted one of these, how that works.
Yes. So crypto is somewhat new, and the user experience is not as arduous right now, to say the least. So let's say you don't have any crypto and you're just brand new. All you have is like US dollars in a bank or whatever, or credit cards. You would need to sign up for on an exchange such as Coinbase or Kraken or whatnot, and then you would need to buy Ethereum there. And so once you have Ethereum there, you then need to create an Ethereum wallet using the most common one is MetaMask, is the most common Ethereum wallet. And then you can then transfer the Ethereum that you bought into the wallet, which now allows you to interact with many dApps, or decentralized apps, DApps. So which allow the minter on our website is just basically another dApp where you then just click mint. It would then pop up a screen on MetaMask saying, "Hey, do you want to mint?" And if it's cost free, great. If it costs some Ether, you have some, and you can approve that transaction. So that's an interaction on a dApp.
So the steps that if someone was interested in participating in Wallstreet Fam and becoming involved, then from what I'm hearing that you share, and again, if anyone is new to this whole process, definitely feel free to reach out to myself or to, anyone at Wallstreet Fam as well, because there's education and information for you. But basically the step is you do have to have your dollars or whatever currency translated over onto a platform so you can actually purchase Ethereum. And then from there, the easiest pathway, even though it's not always very easy, is the MetaMask wallet. MetaMask, and then that will be able to connect over to Wallstreet Fam. So again, there are, think of these various ways as roads that you're going to have to take in order to kind of get over to these malls, these platforms, and as you become, when I first started, I had to learn all about this, and I'm still learning. So definitely there's a definite learning curve, and that's why you need to kind of take your time and educate yourself, as you're navigating. But once you have done it in terms of creating that, and you navigate over to Wallstreet Fam, then how do they join? How, they just connect their MetaMask and then they're able to become a member, or how does that work?
Well, so that's the connecting to MetaMask. That's the minting part of it, right?
Okay.
And that's to connect to the smart contract. That's just a standard way all Ethereum dApps work. So that's minting. You can also get a Wallstreet DAD NFT that's already existing from the secondary market on OpenSea. OpenSea is like the eBay of NFTs. So that's like kind of, so that's buying an existing NFT and that's
two different areas.
Yeah, and then we have a Discord server. You can think of that as just like an online convention center where there's a bunch of different channels and people hang out. It's like I literally picture Las Vegas and there's just like a tons of different people going around, right? So there's a link to our Discord. You just simply click on it and just join. It's like a chat app with many channels. There are certain channels are gated, and you need an NFT to join. This is a common practice in the NFT world. There'll be like that's just how that works. This is like a special membership card into certain areas.
It's like a ticket. It's like a ticket to admit you into certain areas.
But it's reusable, right? It's like more a membership card, essentially, a lifetime forever, right? So that's that. And so the links are on the website.
So for those that would like to obtain one of the visuals that they see, then they would go to OpenSea. And if you want to participate in any of and there's the OpenSea, I see it on the on the website there. So, and then I see also Shop, Twitter, Discord, Medium, YouTube, and Instagram, all the various places that you can explore to learn more about the community that you're building.
Yes, yeah. So we're launching the Wallstreet Moms collections soon in April. Exact date TBD. There's a lot of moving parts, and so that's the minting process that we just described. That's what you will be going through to mint an NFT.
Yes.
Yeah. Which basically these. So right now, basically, Matt and I have created the art, right? So when the minting is like assigning each one of those into an NFT that you own when you mint it, right? And you truly own, the rights to that particular image, right? And we have kind of the write up on all the rights that you own. So it's very generous. It's like you can do whatever you want with it. Basically, you can create derivative art or movies, whatever, off of that and
sell t-shirts.
Yeah. So it's very different from, say, when you buy a picture from an artist, like at a mall, right? You take it home, you hang it on your desk, right? Or behind the wall. That's great. People can see it when they visit your house and all that stuff. But you cannot commercialize that, right? Because the rights to that image is the artist still. With NFTs, we not all NFTs are like this, but with ours, we talk to a lawyer, to an attorney who write up the rights that we want to give to to the owners of each one of these NFTs. Yeah.
And this is an amazing way for you to explore and start a collection. Again, as I mentioned, there's always risk involved, but whenever you do an investment, but these are very unique, as we're seeing with the scrolling pictures. Each one is so different. Does anyone duplicate another one?
I can go into that. So there are, of course, it's unique, okay, but there's many levels of uniqueness, and ours is, I would say, the most extreme level of uniqueness. So normally, let's say an NFT, let's say it has 6 properties, like let's say the hat, shirt, background, left, right, whatever. Let's just make a simple scenario, right? So if all 6 properties are identical with 2 NFT, then that means it's a match, right? It's identical, right? It's like holding the same object, same background, then it's identical, right? because ours have, I think, 50 plus layers, and there's many phantom layers, all that stuff, right? We have so many things that it's overly unique, right? So like in terms of the uniqueness requirement, if two entities is exactly the same but the background are different, we still consider that the same, right? And we do that with many other layers, so that we tighten up the uniqueness requirement, that it's extremely unique. So you look at it, like you look at this here, you can see that's very unique, but there's still an identity there, right? So if you look at other NFT collection, just you can go on OpenSea, even the famous collections like Bored Ape Yacht Club, but you look at their like lower ranked NFTs, like the lower 5,000, they all look very similar. You know, they're like all 5 or 4 properties out of 6 are all the same, and the entities don't look any different. For ours, the entire collection, each one it's just completely unique, because basically Matt has tediously, which I warned against him to not do so much, but he's an overachiever. It's like created how many elements now? It's like thousands of elements.
Yeah, 2,000 plus.
Okay, yeah, so there's 2,000 plus elements that combine. So you imagine like split over 40 layers, right? So it's like 50 times 40 is 2,000, right? So each layer has 50, right? And there's like 40 layers. If you think like that, right? So 50 times 50 times 50 to the 40th. That number of all the combinations, it's just insanity. You can't even, right? It's 50 to the 40th, right? So like we could have created a collection with 50 to 40th pictures, right? But and they all would be unique, right? But we actually condensed it all down to just only 10,000. So like, and so because of that, we want to pick the best and most unique 10,000 out of 50 to 40th, right? And so, and then therefore that's what you see. They all like the uniqueness separation between them is high, and I would say is the highest I've ever seen. I've seen thousands of projects. We intentionally, just go for the world record on that.
So, and I love this, and you and I, all three of us were talking prior about the possibility of creating one for myself, but how long does it take to create one of these visuals? I mean, I know just from as a simple artist myself, nothing like this. I know everything that you're doing is so meticulous. To create one of these visuals, about approximately how long does it take?
I mean,
too long. Too long, man. Hurry up.
Still in progress. But it's not sort of like a one by one. We actually create sort of the entire collection of all the elements before we even start to generate one official one. And that has been basically, between I have an assistant illustrator as well. She's amazing. We've basically created all the elements over the course of the last 3 months. And in the last few weeks, we've been basically, we have a program that Fu has created from scratch to handle the very incredibly complicated logic underlying this. And I can talk a little bit more about that as well. But after we do that, then we can basically combine everything in a logical way that makes sense, but things are coordinated so that it outputs out a cohesive person and not sort of like a random jumble. Because when you have 2,000 elements, it can look random unless you control it in the right way. So I don't know if that answered your question, but it does.
Can you dive into what examples of where you need control, such as
sure.
At the
yeah. So for example, we have an article on Medium, one that kind of talks about our dad collection, and our dad collection is actually sort of a simpler version of the moms, but so we can talk about that. One of the things is that all the hair is coordinated, right? And just because you don't have random, things. Same thing as skin color as well, because we actually have hands that are connected to the body and ears, and they're all coordinated as well. And so when they're put into the program and their output, they need to come out together. Same thing as grips. And so with the moms, we actually have increase the complexity of just the hands, which require 12 layers just by themselves. Because as you notice, as they grasp an object, they have to be in front and behind, right? Because you see the fingers overlap and underlap as well. You have that for different grips. You have that for left and right. We also have nails for the moms, so there we have different nail colors, and the nails have to exist on below and above the object for both objects for multiple grips. And you have to do that for gloves too, because we have some amazing gloves, so those opera gloves that go up, up to the elbow, and we have regular gloves and fingerless gloves. And so all that combined, and having to coordinate both sides, grips, and everything, and all the nails have to be, people don't usually have different color nails at those sides. So on all 4 layers and all, it's very complicated, but essentially what outputs is something that's cohesive that you saw, in this. So you see here, red nails here, red nails here, you'll have, I think, green nails here. It's a little small, but again,
Matt,
you have, yes.
Can you come back to that and just show I really love the animation here. So
the layering, in most NFT collections, you'll have sort of a very linear layering, like this goes on top of this, and you're done. You made your sandwich and you're done. In our case, because we're basically trying to portray real life realistically, real life means that things happen underneath and above different objects, things interweave. And so to do that, when we layer these objects, they have to be coordinated so that a multiple object made up of multiple layers has to slide in, around an object. So for example, you'll see this guitar needs to be, slid in between a top finger and a bottom finger. These sunglasses need to be above the hair and below the hair simultaneously.
So what I'm just amazed at is, I'm thinking about it from the teacher side. The technique and the technical knowledge that needed to come into the programming of this and the design of this. Again, I'm always looking at how can the next generation, from a career perspective, be taking a look at this. I mean, there's graphic art here. There is coding. There's so many different layers here. And it's so complex and it's so ingenious. Again, it is amazing to me, what both of you have created. How long have you been working on this?
So the dads took about a couple months, 3 months, and the moms have been just over 3 months as well. But we learned a lot, even though they're much more complicated, I would say. it's an order of magnitude more complicated. But yes, we have some optimizations and we've learned a lot along the way. But yes, it's still an incredible amount of planning and, creative and technical all together to kind of coordinate all this.
Yeah, no, it's just amazing. Yes.
Oh, I just want to say that it's like 3 months of like 16 hours days.
Right. That's right.
With a lot of expertise. So yeah, it's
like 100
Matt was like complaining, like, why am I doing this? It's like, no, you're gonna create a masterpiece, Matt. Go at it, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, we have basically over 50 different hairstyles, which isn't, that's a lot, right? But for every different hairstyle, we have 8 different colors. And each hairstyle exists at most 3 layers. So for example, this hairstyle right here exists above the eyeglasses, below the eyeglasses, but they're both above the body. And then there's a layer that's underneath the body as well, because that's naturally how hair falls. It's everywhere. So that's actually 3 different layers for the hair, times all the different color possibilities, times all the different hairstyles. So just for hair alone, I think we have over 800, almost 900 layers just for that.
It's an amazing, again, when people think about art, they might think about oils or watercolors, but, digital art like NFTs are equally complex in terms of how they're created, even though they might look simple, and the reality is that they're not. And so that's why, again, my hat comes off to both of you guys.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, thanks. This is sort of an example of that visual jumble when you don't have logic involved, right? When you're literally just slapping hundreds of different elements together. it just, there needs to be something cohesive to make sure that everything's coordinated. And just shout out to the tech. Not only do we have to keep things coordinated inter-image, right? So each image on its own must be coordinated, but we actually coordinate all the images across 10,000 together too, because what we have to do is introduce different levels of weighting so that some elements that we feel are more special appear more often than others or less often than others. And so not only are we making sure that each image on its own is cohesive, we also have to make sure that they're cohesive across all the entire collection as well. So there is an incredible amount of programming and planning and knowledge involved in this. So,
and I know that we're going to be doing a whole nother episode on the rating of the various NFTs because of the special technique that you've created to rate the various elements and that type of thing. I definitely want to thank you guys for sharing this today. I know that you talked about April, but obviously, perfect time to roll this out is in time for Mother's Day, which is in May, as a thank you to all the mothers around the globe. But prior to that, our talk show will definitely have dropped, and that way everyone can check the OpenSea collection out, as well as the platform, and become involved. I know that you have a lot of other ideas that you're going to be creating on the platform. I can't wait to have future conversations with both of you. Any last minute thoughts that you want to share before we sign off?
Yeah, excited to show more of what we've created and our plans, super exciting plans for the future. Thank you so much, Jacqui.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of from ground scratch work that we've put together to create all this and more. So excited to go through it.
Yeah, so for those that are interested in learning more about how NFT art is created, definitely, or who want to, check out the various collections, on OpenSea, or participate in any of the community discussions on Discord or any of the other platforms, the links will definitely be in the blog below. So definitely come back and check it out. And we are going to have all these conversations in the upcoming episodes. So like and subscribe so you can see when those shows drop. And again, thank you, everyone. Remember, I always say, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We're all interconnected. We're all one world. And together we make it a better place. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.